Well, you know, I've been in the court system for over 40 years. And from the earliest times, I certainly recognized that a family court was a unique institution. And I guess that is reinforced the first time someone walks into family court, including myself, and sees the really frenetic activity all over that court with people who are dealing with really the most difficult issues in their lives.
I decided to practice in family court because I think it's the cases that are heard here are the most important in the lives of the litigants. And so to make a difference in those people's lives, it seemed important to be where the decisions were happening that were critical to them.
I'm thrilled to be part of this very, very significant birthday for the family court. Now, 1962 happens also to be a significant anniversary for me, the 50th anniversary of my graduation from law school. Regrettably, however, it took me many, many years before my own consciousness was raised to the enormous importance of family court issues. They affect all of society profoundly.
This is where, hopefully, we are actually helping somebody, and something is being done. We don't see it necessarily because it happens outside of our four walls, but if we do the next right step, somebody is being helped, and we may never learn it.
But as an optimist, I would add this, that I think what makes the family court unique in all of the systems I've worked in is the dedication of the people who work there. I think the family court is chaotic, wonderful, dysfunctional, energetic, frenetic, and all of those things are what I like in my work. I'm very quiet as a person, but I like a lot of energy around me, and I like that people come to that job, and I hope with resilience stay in it to want to help others.
Family court is about families, about working for, working to serve, working to save families. Perhaps not in the form that they come into us, but to work for them and to service them and to remember that we are family.
The question of why I came is always different than why I stayed. I stayed for the young people. My clients are the ones who inspire me every day. And I stayed for the people I work with. There is a really unique quality, I find, in people who decide to make family court work their life's work. They're compassionate, they're dedicated, they're doing really hard work, they're relying on each other for support, and it creates a community of caring that is very unique, I think, in the legal system.
My first day, I was surprised to find that I'd be walking up 11 flights of stairs at 60 Lafayette Street with the then Administrative Judge Kay McDonald. But I think most memorable is something that happened during the first week. In those days, judicial training amounted to observing judges in the county for a couple of weeks, and then when you were ready to preside over cases. During my first week, Judge Ambrosio, who was the supervising judge then, sent a note down asking if I wanted to preside over a probable cause hearing. Well, I went bounding down the corridor, put my robe on for the first time, was greeted with the customary hoopla, and then sat down, and absolutely nothing happened. I noticed Judge Ambrosio scrolling a note, which he discreetly, as possible, slid to the clerk, who slid it over to me, and when I opened it, it said, "You have to say something." And so I said, "This is on for probable cause," and people haven't stopped talking since.
My very first day as a judge in family court is so memorable. I was scared to death. I was an advocate for over a dozen years representing families in family court proceedings. I represented children, I represented adults, I represented parents, aunts, uncles, foster parents. it was not the same as going into that courtroom with a robe on and being the one to make the decisions in people's lives. I was terrified.
So when I walked into family court and saw all these people who were interested in helping children and families, I was in awe. I couldn't believe I'd finally found a place where people thought like I did, spoke the language I spoke, and was committed to the same values that I was committed to. So for me, it was a life-changing experience that honestly has been life-changing for the last 25 years.
I think that cases are heard more quickly. They're heard in continuous sessions for the most part. There are many more specialized parts to ensure particular treatment that's geared towards the issues involved in any particular kind of case. But the most startling difference in family court from the early days to me is the fact that today everyone understands and must understand that family court is open to the public.
Well, I think since I started as a law guardian in '69, it was only 7 years after family court was created. And I think from that time, and even from '84, there are differences in three main areas. One is the personnel and the people who work there. Two is the facility, the various facilities. And three is the resources. Never have enough resources, but more than we had.
Family court, at the time I had started, was still struggling, I think, with its identity as are we a passive court that sits back and listens to evidence? Do we take a more active role? Certainly the cases vary tremendously from court date to court date. Families have new problems that they didn't have on the previous court date. So family court, I think, now has evolved and I think is very comfortable with its identity. And we do take a much more active role in trying not only to make decisions about people's lives, but to try and steer families and youth into the right direction so that their lives are actually better.
And the change that I've seen and so greatly admire in the family court is the effective leadership all through the court in the direction of innovation, collaboration, problem solving, life-changing, and I most heartily applaud that.
When parents, attorneys became institutionalized, or at least the creation of institutionalized providers for parents, which really leveled the playing field, I think, for parents in especially dependency cases, made a big difference. And it's not just that we push to do that, but the court, the family court throughout the city has really accepted and encouraged the evolution of what I think is a pretty important feature for the outcome of those cases.
Another really big difference in family court is that there are permanency hearings every 6 months. When I first started doing this work, people would come to me, their children would be in foster care, and sometimes they hadn't been to court in over a year or even 2 years. It was really astounding. And that system has really changed. There's a lot more court review, and as a result, children are spending much less time in foster care, which is a good thing.
Close to home means that family court judges will be placing kids in the city when they place them non-secure and limited secure on delinquency cases. That's something that New York City has been hoping for years, and that the family court will have an enormous part in making reality.
The people are the same. What I mean by that is the people who choose to serve in family court have wisdom, compassion, and dedication to the children and families. And everybody may have different jobs to do, but what is the same about family court is what's important about family court. The people who serve in that court are special and want to help transform lives, help people who are in need, and that makes family court a really special place.
I think that resources are a big issue. We at both CCC and the Council on Children have been advocating for years now to try to try to increase the number of family court judges in the family court. We've hit enormous stumbling blocks in doing that, and I think that issue will continue to be one that we'll need to work on. Hopefully, 10 years, 20 years from now, we won't still be talking about how we don't have enough family court judges.
The challenges of family court in New York City are always one of immigration, changing population, poverty, and I think we'll continue to face that going on into the future. There's technological challenges for any court today, and we're facing them, we're meeting them, we're trying to keep abreast of all of those things. So probably technology is a big thing. Changing population will always be a challenge for New York City Family Court.
Oh, I think family court's challenges are the same in the next 5 to 10 years that they've been in the whole time that the family court has existed since 1962. It's a court that serves a voiceless population. It's the last in line for everything that's being given out. And you have to fight for this court. It can't fight for itself.
It's an interesting question to think about a poignant story about family court, because over the past 30 years, my entire family court experience, I think, is one poignant moment after another, which is basically what keeps so many of us in the family court. And it's the moments when you actually can see a life change. It's the moments of pain. It's the intimate moments of a family's life.
You've been with these people. When you're a family court judge, you know your litigants almost as if they were your family, and you share these little moments, and you of joy and humor and sadness, but it's not something that you can compress into an anecdote. It's like your own family, just little moments that you share.
I presided over an abuse case while in Queens involving a 7-year-old boy, and placed him in a safe home. A couple of years later, my court officer, Al Diaz, said there was a young man outside the courtroom door who wished to speak with me, and of course I showed him in, had him shown in. He came up to the bench, and it was Herman, the subject child of the case. And he handed me his photograph, his communion photograph, and on the back he had inscribed, "You are my best friend." I still carry that photograph.
So here they were in their late 40s, and they had, at their urging, had asked her to petition the court to become their mother legally, officially. And the case was heard before the court. The women talked about how much they loved this woman who devoted her life to them, and just, it was wonderful. There wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom. And then the judge, to, I guess, sort of make everyone feel a little bit more happy or a little more comfortable, and to elevate the mood a little, pulled out 2 lollipops, handed it to both women, and said, "I give them to all the children being adopted."
But then later in the day, one of the attorneys approached me a bit sheepishly and obviously in a little bit of distress, and I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "Well, Judge, earlier you told us to go out and read, the Riot Act." She said, "But I couldn't find it. Could you give me the citation, please?"
And I want to start with a very resounding happy birthday, Family Court. I'm thrilled to be part of this very, very significant birthday for the Family Court.
Happy 50th birthday, Family Court. Happy birthday to the Family Court from all of your friends at Lyft.
So on behalf of myself and everyone at Lawyers for Children, the children we represent, I say happy birthday to the Family Court.
Happy 50th birthday, Family Court.
Happy birthday, Family Court.
I would not have the career that I have or would never have had the professional satisfaction that I have had if it weren't for the Family Court. So happy birthday, happy 50th birthday to the New York City Family Court. And on behalf of New York City Children's Services and the 6,600 people who work there, and on behalf of the great city of New York, it is my honor as the Commissioner of Children's Services to be the lucky one that gets to wish the Family Court and each family court in the 5 boroughs, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and Manhattan, a very, very happy and healthy birthday to a wonderful New York City Family Court.
On behalf of my committee and the Bar Association, I wish a very happy birthday to the Family Court.
On behalf of the Family Court and Family Law Committee for the New York City Bar Association, we'd like to wish the Family Court a very happy 50th birthday.
On behalf of the Committee on Domestic Violence at the New York City Bar, we want to wish the Family Court a huge happy birthday.
On behalf of the Juvenile Justice Committee, I want to say happy birthday, Family Court.
On behalf of Citizens Committee for Children, I wanted to wish the Family Court a very happy 50th birthday. On behalf of the Council on Children of the City Bar Association, we want to wish the Family Court a very happy 50th birthday.
Happy birthday, Family Court. You've never looked so good.
Happy birthday, Family Court.
Happy 50th birthday, Family Court.
Happy birthday, Family Court.
Happy birthday, Family Court.
Happy birthday to the Family Court.
Happy birthday, Family Court.
Happy 50th birthday, Family Court.
Happy birthday, Family Court.
Family Court, happy birthday. 50 years of service to the public. For all who have labored in your fields in the past, the present, and the future, I wish you all happy birthday and many more to come.
Happy birthday, you old Family Court, you.
Happy birthday, Family Court. You look wonderful for your age.
Happy birthday, Family Court.